some of the best guys in the red pill, it is like the pickup community. There are some good guys, but a lot of them are not, especially the guys who are public. Like a lot of them are frauds. Rollo's a really good example of that. Some of the best guys, though, are the guys who are not public. They just write occasionally. They don't write much. They're not constantly keyword jockeying shit. They're kind of like guys like you, but they have regular jobs. So they're not like a public presence, you know? But no, the red pill community
I like Bulldog Mindset. Are you a fan of his?
He's one of my speakers. Yeah, he's a great dude. I was on a stream with him just like the other night, last night, 2 nights ago. Yeah, his speech is about to come out for 21 convention.
Nice. Yeah, I was on his channel on Tuesday as well.
Yeah, he's an awesome dude. He's a very level-headed, rational dude. I think he's got a lot of respect for the community. I think he's sincere, and I think he does. There's some guys who talk about like uniting the manosphere and this and that, but a lot of them are just massive frauds, and they don't mean that. Well, I'm getting all fucking bright. What the fuck's going on?
What was your stuff that you wanted to say about Rollo besides the alien thing from your sister?
I just wanted to ask you, like a lot of the guys watching, I don't know how many, but some of them still, they read Rollo, they watch Rollo stuff. I don't know how many. Some of them. He's one of the co-founders of the show before he resigned in disgrace from the company we had about a year and a half ago. Yeah, he's a total scumbag. I've done a lot of videos on this and stuff.
I saw your memes and all the stuff you sent me. Can you give me like the summary? I'm curious to see like your take on things. Like what's the summary of like the scummy like fraud things that he's done?
Yeah, so there's a lot. I went into it on the stream with Bulldog actually the other night. We were kind of going into some of this, and not that he took sides. He was just kind of like observing and asking questions. I'll put links in this video too to some of these videos. They're on our channel. They're up. They're available. I'll put it in the cards. I'd say the worst thing that Rollo's done by far, it's way worse than anyone else. Rollo's a much bigger fraud than Tyler, than all these guys. Even the worst guys you mentioned. Yeah, Rollo's fucking massive fraud. So Rollo Tomassi in 2018 doxed over 50 men to the New York Times. A feminist reporter at the New York Times named Nellie Bowles. He doxed over 50 men in real life to a feminist reporter at the New York Times at the end of 21 convention. It was insane. This was extremely fucked up.
What was the reason?
He's really jealous of guys like Roosh and Jordan Peterson. And I think he saw the opportunity to kind of burn all these guys and cause a scene, cause like a big, fucking show. I think he was hoping she would show up with like a cameraman or a body cam or something and just plaster these guys on the front page of the New York Times, which would fuck up their lives. Male supremacist Nazi, hates women, blah, blah, blah. Dude, the guys who attend our convention, a lot of them, some of them are salted with guys. They're young guys and they're out of college, engineers, whatever. Some of them are attorneys, though, surgeons, doctors, active military, retired law enforcement. These guys can't be on the front page of the Washington Post or the New York Times being called and slandered a male supremacist Nazi or some shit. Rollo's fully aware of this, obviously. He's a guy who pretends to advocate for men. And he just wanted to burn all these guys, I think. He didn't give a fuck. Super reckless, super retarded. And then he covered it up and lied about it. He tried to blame Ivan Throne, one of our speakers. He tried to blame George Bruno, one of our speakers. He tried to blame Shift and cover this shit up for 8 months before we fucking nailed his ass with fucking evidence and shit. And then he just fucking dodged it and snaked it then. He's like, people ask him about it. You won't even fucking answer the question. So that to me is by far the worst thing ever. All the shit that these guys have done, scamming and screwing each other out of money, all kinds of fights. RSD has had their own internal fights, obviously, and shit like that. All that is pretty serious, but none of them that I know of have actually doxed, maliciously, recklessly doxed over 50 men. That's crazy. Like if you had a meetup at a bar tomorrow for your fans, and let's say 65 guys showed up, and at the last minute you doxed that shit to a feminist fucking reporter at a major news outlet, your fans would fucking hate you forever. They'd be like, fuck this dude. That's the most fucked up shit you can do. Short of like violence or bombing or shooting, something really fucking crazy criminal, doxing men is the worst thing you can do today. We live in cancel culture. You can lose your fucking job. You can lose your business. You can lose your family. You can lose your marriage, all that shit.
Funny enough, people doxed the shit out of him. They sent me all these emails. I didn't put anything public, but they showed me that he foreclosed on his fucking house.
Yeah, that's funny. That sucks.
Which means he's run out of money.
Hey, bad things happen to bad people, man. What is it? The circle of life. You want to dox? Rollo Tomassi is a known doxer. That dude doxed over 50 guys.
I didn't know about it.
It's hysterical that he went and did this. Yeah, there's a whole thing. We have a 15-page statement on this. We put out a formal statement. My attorney contacted Rollo. It's a big fucking deal. And we'll see what happens with that. But it's super scummy behavior. And there's nothing, I don't know of anyone in the manosphere ever who's done something like that. You're talking about all this stuff, and I know you mean this, and you're into it, and you have the evidence, this and that. That shit's fucked. Scamming guys out of money, this and that. But that's not ruining their life. That's not targeting them in public with a fucking news outlet. That's crazy. That is fucking super crazy and unhinged. That's treason. That's not just fucking shitty, unethical behavior.
Did anybody get a chance to call him out live and like in a debate or anything like this? So did he ever try to defend it or no?
He just yeah, it's all over the place. You can look at it. He was on his own show. Yeah, this Rule Zero crap, the crap zero, the Cope Zero, I think you call it, right? You know, his buddy Richard Cooper was like, so Rollo's looking at this guy, and Cooper's like, well, so what if Rollo did it? This is actually on video, and Rollo's just like sitting there, like staring at him. He doesn't give a fuck. He's crazy. The dude's a sociopath, massively.
Rollo's just a failed musician who just became an opportunist and try to scam. I mean, what are your you know, that's fucking bullshit what you just described. But what about in terms of him like frauding and misleading guys and stuff? And
most of I mean, when he's on the issues, he's not always bad. He's a good keyboard jockey. So not everything he says is wrong. I'm not making that claim. That's ridiculous, in my opinion. Rollo's not dumb either. He's a smart dude. I don't think he's this hyper intelligent genius that his fanboy cultists think he is. That's really ridiculous. He's not even a great writer. Everything he writes is all clusterfuck, you know, jumbled up words and shit half the time. But he's good, for example, at attacking feminism, criticizing, you know, this and that, the shit that women do. But it's all keyboard jockey stuff. Let me say this. Anytime he gets off the issues, anytime he's not focusing on, you know, women and hypergamy or whatever, right? All this fucking shit, feminism. The minute he goes into his personal life, it's all a lie. Everything is not only a lie, it's the opposite. It's the inversion. For example, he says constantly, like, I'm not in it for the money. I'm not in it for the money. I'm not in it for the money. Dude, 80% of his income or more has been coming from the rational male for like years now. He's definitely in it for the money. He's in it for the money more than anyone else. He's a money fucking grabbing scumbag. He's more money hungry than anyone I've ever seen, ever. And I've worked with hundreds of speakers. So this LARP, like he pretends to be this like red pill Santa Claus when the opposite is true. He's a super greedy guy who will dox and burn men to make an extra buck and get another book sale by hitting, you know, mainstream media, like a news cycle kind of thing. So that's just one example. He's just a massive fraud with that shit, massive liar. He constantly goes on, he harps on this, right? Oh, I'm this nice guy, I'm red pill Santa Claus, I'm not in it for the money. He works 60 hours a week on the rational male, and most of his income has been coming from this for years, by far. So it's a fucking lie. That's just one example. Him being a rock star in his 20s, all this bullshit, that's a massive lie. I think he hasn't fucked that many women. He wasn't good back then. I think he did get laid a little bit, but it was mostly kind of like, you know, fool stuff, just like randomly bumping into these chicks, or just kind of having that status, doing some gig at some random bar. He's never been good with women. These dudes who think he's like a god, like Tyler stuff, it's totally fucked. He sucks with women. He lacks basic social skills. That's how fucked up this guy is.
Tyler does too. Yeah, it was really sad seeing it in person. I know a lot of guys that hang around him and stuff. He just creeps the girls out massively. Like
exactly.
He comes up and he's like, hey, like he's like, yeah, how you guys doing? Yeah. Like he's like, oh, yeah. I don't drink. I just drink green juice. And the chicks are like, we need to get the fuck out of here.
Exactly.
And all the fanboys are like in awe, and it's so. Because you know, most of the stories that these fanboys hear are full fabrications. Like what you said about how like the guy saw him go home alone, and then he made up a story how he pulled a girl. I saw that multiple times.
And I heard this from instructors that worked with him. This isn't like random hearsay. This is guys who actually work with him.
Even his video editor. I put out a thing. His video editor is like his quote unquote game. There's nothing special at all. In it, you know, that was probably a hell of a job watching all this nonsense for hours and having to edit it. But it's gotten more and more extreme. He's like feeding his own image, like the whole Tyler Durden character that he created from Fight Club. It's really true. It's this massive delusion, and I think he believes it himself. It's this whole ultra reality that doesn't exist, but all the fans think it exists, and that's like enough. I think like his whole character is like to feed his like big beta like traits and his lack of success. And he can just become like, you know, it's this megalomania in this closed kind of microcosm with these fanboys worshiping him. So he's created like, he's made himself to be like a Jesus Christ character, but it has no bearing to reality whatsoever. But his
Rollo's very similar. He has a Jesus complex. He's a Messiah. He saves lives, which is really it's really just fostering codependency in these guys who are already wounded, the walking wounded. They get burnt out. They get burnt and wounded by BPD chicks and just different women, right? They're really bitter. They are fucked up. They do need help. Rollo offers them a lifeline, but it's just a lifeline to a new hellscape, a new level of hell. And then they get sucked into this codependency cycle that never ends.